excited about today's video because this has been a true labor of love. This is our friend John Thiessen's. It started out in life as a 1979 Canadian Mini 1000, but it ain't no more. Come on over here and let's take a look at the candy underneath the hood bonnet. Here we go. This is something truly spectacular and was a lot of fun. This is totally kick-ass. All right, so this is a Specialist Components twin cam 16 valve BMW K-Series head on an A-Series mini block with a mini gearbox. It's actually a 1380 bore on a 5-speed gearbox with jet motors, master kit, ultralight clutch and flywheel assembly. A lot of jet motors, master kits on this, but man, oh man, this is not for the faint of heart. This was a fun build, but truly complicated. A lot of custom parts we had to make for this. Let's take a look at some of the things we had to do to make this actually work. So, first of all, bolting the head to the block was really unique in that we've learned a lot from our friends up in Seattle area. Aaron Anderson and the rest of those guys have been actually racing these in a Woosley Hornet or a Riley Elf, and man, is it wicked fast. These things rev to the moon, and so we had to do a lot of reinforcements on the bottom end to accept those RPMs, but I think it thinks it's a bike now. But it's still mini. And so we've got a 1380 block pistons sitting on a 5-speed gearbox, ultralight flywheel, but take a look at this. How do you get the oil in this without removing the rocker cover or the valve cover assembly? We took the flywheel housing breather and we actually welded on a little oil fitting, and now we can just pour it directly into the flywheel housing, directly into the crankcase. I thought that was pretty unique. I like that we came up with that. We couldn't turn the motor over. It really has a lot of compression, and we used one of our jet motors, high torque starters from Hitachi. We modified them to fit, and that really does work. It does spin that motor a lot faster and have a ton of torque without a lot of draw, so that's kind of important. We are using one of our billet oil filter heads with the Start Light Aeroquip hose, and this is throttle individual ITBs, fuel injection with a gorgeous stainless exhaust system. And we are using the Typhoon computer from Specialist Components. We've now gone to the Delta 400, but we have figured out how to operate these, both the Typhoon and the Delta 400. And that was a learning curve, but we've got it down. We've been mapping them, and we've been running them on the dyno. And I know you're all gonna ask, how much horsepower? Well, we had the rev limiter set at 6,500, and that's nowhere near where it needs to be. That's way low. We were being conservative. It's brand new. Didn't want to blow it up on the dyno, but we did get 100 horsepower at the wheels at 6,500. So if we increase the rev limiter and we take it up to 75 or even 8, I bet you we can get close to 120 and some good fuel. So conservatively speaking, we set it up safe. We don't want John blowing it up. And it's easy to do. I mean, it wants to rev, and you can just carry it to the moon and it'll go. But we want to keep it alive for, you know, taking to shows and having some fun. So we were very conservative, 100 horse at the wheels, still a blast. Come on around here and you'll see what we've done to this thing. So it started out in life as a 1979 Canadian Mini 1000. We Mark 1'd it quite a bit. We put in the Mark 1 turn signals, the Mark 1 Morris Cooper S grill, and the mustache and whiskers. We also did the treatment to the back of the car with the Mark 1 taillights and just kind of giving it, you know, more of a retro look. I really wanted to retain the metal bonnet, and it was a ton of work. If you come over here, you can see here what we had to do. We did keep the diagonal bracing in the bonnet, but we did have to remove it from here to here and from here to here, and all we did was take out the brace so that it would clear the rocker cover, and it does. And even with the sound deadening, which does help a lot, you really want that, and I think all minis need it. But we were able to retain the stock bonnet without looking, you know, like it's been modified or putting bulges or bubbles in it, and it works. So check that out. We still were able to retain the safety hook, but we had to eliminate the latch. There is no latch, so you can't that's gone. It was going to hit the throttle bodies. We do have the safety hook, but we had to put the bonnet safety straps on there to make it work. So that's what we did. It's only got bonnet safety straps and a safety hook to keep it down, but that's it. It looks kind of cool and very correct. Come on around here and let's take a look at the interior. I'll open this door for you. So what we've got going on in here is that John's really tall. So he is like 6 foot plus, way up there. So I did put one of the jet motor steering column drops in here, and you can what's unique about our drop is that you can put it in the factory stock location and you can move it down. So a lot of times I find that all the aftermarket steering drops are just too low and you really hit your legs, especially if you're a tall guy. But sometimes maybe you want it in the factory stock location. So this allows you that full adjustability from stock to lowered. John is tall, and I mean, if you look at this, I'm over 6, and I'm completely splayed out here, and he's going to fit like a glove. So I actually have to move the seat forward just so that I can drive this car. And what's cool is, hey, what's 2, 3, 4, 5 speeds? Isn't that cool? Momo Mod 07 suede steering wheel with the yellow band. Car's yellow, car's black. Stuck with the yellow and black theme. Corbeau LG1 suede seats. Modified jet motor seat brackets so we could get them all the way back. We mounted them on the back side of the cross member. We used the Monte Carlo door panels with the billet aluminum hardware. And I just kind of built this car how I would do it if it was mine. So I do seem to treat every single Mini that comes into the shop like it's mine. So I do give them all the love. And I tried to retain the stock instrument cluster, the 3 clocks in the center. I just love the classic vintage look. I didn't go with anything extravagant, just simple, clean, and useful. So I really tried to keep it tidy and sanitary and just, you know, perfect. Awesome, right? So come on around back. Let's take a look back there. And you'll see that we did put the Mark 1 tail lights on. We do sell the little plates that you can weld in and put the Mark 1s on, even a late model large square tail light. We also use the Mark 1 license plate frame. I think it just looks period correct and cool. And of course, you have to, if you're going to do a turbo or fuel injection, you have to have a return line. So we did weld in a return bung back there, and we have a regulator, of course, to push the overflow back into the tank. I really want to show you guys this. So this is one of the T7 heaters that we sell on our website also. These things are fabulous. They're tiny, they're small, they don't get in the way of your feet. They're wonderful because they will cook you out of the car if you want, and they work excellent as the defrost, and they're just fantastic. So if you need a heater in your classic Mini, pick up one of these. They're fantastic. Also, I want you guys to see the headliner. Take a look up here and see this new headliner we put in. That was a tremendous amount of work. These one-piece headliners are just a real bugger to install. Also, we did recover the entire back seat to match the front seats. We used the genuine Corbeau black suede material, and we just tied it all in, and it matches beautiful. All right, you guys, I want to show you something else. Come on over here. And what we have here are these 3-piece specialist components wheels. These are 7x10s with some Hoosier TD tires on them. I really love the Hoosiers on these wheels and tires. I had to put on some what's called a Miglia flare, or it's not a Group 5 because it doesn't have the lip, but these are really, I think, tidy. They kind of give it a good stance. Also, I went to a lot of work to try and, well, I did. I welded in these little plates to accept the historic racing mirror, or the Downton, or the GT300. Call it what you want. This is one of my favorite mirrors. We custom made these billet spacers and adapters, and on roll down windows cars, if you have your door off and you have the ability, I'd weld in a little plate, put in the bolt and nut, and now you have a really sturdy, stable mirror that is useful, that you can actually see out of. So anyway, that's some of the highlights of this car. I could go on forever about this thing because it was a huge build. This was a monumental task, but it's complete, it's done, and stay tuned. We're gonna go for a ride.